Hello and welcome to the Navy STEAM Camp Program Informational Webinar. My name is Brent Edwards and I'll be co-presenting the webinar. My co-presenters are Cynthia Fletcher, Youth Director, and Larry Hill, CYP Program Lead from Naval Air Station Whidbey Island, Washington. Prior to getting started with the webinar, let's go over a few basic housekeeping items. First, the PowerPoint slides and script for today's webinar are now available on the CYP e-library. However, please take notes as needed. Also, a live recording of this webinar is located on the Navy Youth Program's YouTube channel. Lastly, if you have any questions at the conclusion of the webinar, please email brent.a.edwards@navy.mil. The presentation team intends to achieve the following learning outcomes for each attendee. Participants will receive CYP's purpose and vision for the STEAM Camp program. Participants will receive the requirements and supplemental guidance for the STEAM Camp program. And lastly, participants will be exposed to professional and industry standards in the execution of the STEAM Camp program that may lead to future enhancements of Navy youth programs. During the webinar, we will cover various topics so all participants can have a better understanding of the STEAM Camp program, including a testimonial from Naval Air Station Whidbey Island, Washington. Also, we will announce the 2017 project, camp locations, and funding details. But first, a brief history. In 2011, Navy Child and Youth Programs Headquarters began offering various science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, also known as STEAM camps, via our partnerships with 4-H Military Extension and Missoula Children's Theater, to Navy teens that completed video applications on behalf of their local Navy youth program. Over the past few years, CYP Headquarters has extended over 470 scholarships to Navy teens worldwide. Some of the previous partners include Clemson University, University of Florida, University of Georgia, Iowa State University, Louisiana State University, University of Maine, University of Maryland, Texas A&M University, and Missoula Children's Theater. So why does Navy Child and Youth Programs implement the STEAM Camp program? It's really quite simple. For Navy teens, the program is intended to improve their sense of a Navy teen community and to provide Navy teens with opportunities and exposure to varying educational as well as recreational activities that could lead to possible career paths or future leisure in varying activities. For our organization, the program is intended to strengthen our youth programs, and it's our hope that all selected sites continue to deliver similar transformative opportunities for their Navy families. To better communicate the effect the STEAM Camp program has on the Navy enterprise, I would like to highlight our most frequent STEAM Camp recipient, Naval Air Station Whidbey Island, Washington. To date, NAS Whidbey Island has been selected to a STEAM Camp in every year since the Navy started organizing the program. Therefore, I think it is only best to have them tell you a little bit about their story. At this time, we will transition our presentation to our very own Cynthia Fletcher, Youth Director, and Larry Hill, CYP Program Lead at Naval Air Station Whidbey Island, Washington. Cynthia and Larry, please take it away.
Hi everybody, this is Cynthia.
Hi, this is Lori.
And we're really excited to get to help with this informational webinar because this is a program we're very excited about. So the first thing is the information's out there. It's time to go. We're ready. The minute this information comes out, our kids have been waiting for it. They started asking back in December if we had heard anything about summer programmings. As soon as the information comes out, we start working on it and we try to work fast. The kids need time because they're going to school, they have lots of projects. So this project becomes a big task for them, and we want them to have enough time to work on their program. This is an opportunity of a lifetime. This doesn't happen very often, even though Whidbey is 4 times. Each year we go into it saying, there's no way we're going to be able to do this, but we're going to try, and we have fun just thinking about the project and doing it together. If you're excited as staff, your kids are going to be excited. It is a whirlwind of activity.
So let's start first by how we approach the annual project. First, as soon as the information comes out, we got a hold of our teens and we started planning. And the first thing is we picked the staff. Who are going to help with this project and who is going to be the most excited? And because we've had staff that have been here for a while, we have staff that have participated with this project several times. So the excitement is there because we've won before. And so we had staff currently last year that had attended the STEM camps previously. And so his excitement as a youth and now as a leader transported that. He was able to tell our current teens how great that experience was. So I think the first part of it is just selling it to your teens and selling it to your staff and get them excited about the opportunity, which we did. And they were excited from the get, just with the possibility of a free trip.
It's difficult. One of our difficult thing was to start finding the right technical resources. So that's something I think that we're going to have to be looking for from the very beginning, is finding those resources, looking around your base, looking in your local community, and your 4-H office. Our 4-H office is excited that we've won these before, and they often call us with special opportunities, talk to us, so getting them on board with helping you with some of the equipment and things that you need, it's there. We just keep telling the kids, this is free. It's free. What a wonderful opportunity for them to get to do this. This is something that most of our Navy families may not be able to afford, to the air blind and sending a child by themselves. This way they have staff they know. They get pretty excited about it.
And I think it's important, too, that you pick the right staff and the staff that your parents and your kids trust. If we didn't pick the right staff to go with our kids, I think there would have been more parents concerned. So I think picking staff is really key, and picking staff that your kids know and love, really.
And I think one more part of it is to talk with your parents, to make sure that your parents know that the youth are working on this, they're excited about it. Getting those parents on board and supporting you is very important. There's nothing worse for a youth to work on the project and then be told, well, I'm sorry, I never planned that you could go. So making sure that your parents and you have an open line of communication with them, and you let them know from the very beginning what our teams are working on. So participation is the key. Getting that core group excited, together, focused, so that they do some brainstorming, figuring out what they want to, how they want to present the criteria and the video that they're going to be working on.
And I think the core group of kids that you really want to go to first are your Keystone and your Torch clubs, because they're the kids that care. They're the kids that put in the effort, that work on programming, that work for the center, that give service to the club. And they are the ones that we went to, and they're the ones that get to go. So that was how we kind of recruited our team.
We won't lead you wrong. This is a lot of work. It required the staff to be very focused, to be goal-oriented, to help the kids organize. For some of them, this was a big project, and the first time they had presented this kind of a project as they worked on it. So really important that you're very supportive of both the staff and the kids. When the kids started and they got to go to the STEM camp and they got on that airplane, and I've never seen such an excited every group, every time when they get on those buses and they head off for the airport, parents, teens, I mean, the excitement is palpable. It's lots of fun. The kids loved the fact that it was free. You know, their food was taken care of. They took some food for the plane, and they had, you know, those kinds of things, but everything was taken care of. And CNIC did a great job of making sure that those itineraries were out to us so that we could give them to the parents and teens. They knew what that they were expecting. The camp staff at each of the 4 camps, especially Tempucci, was dynamic. They had done this before. They knew their jobs and their camps, and they were really ready to present to these kids. The only problem that we really, as we tried to focus on, you know, problems that the teams talked about, was that some of the cabin staff at Tempucci were the same age, but they wouldn't tell the kids how old they were, so they didn't relate across with them, but they were also the same age and things, and maybe that would have made for better bonding in the different cabins.
Yeah, when I was talking to the representative, the 4-H representative in Florida, she said that normally their camps are like 8 to 13, or like 15-ish, And so our kids are coming in at 14 to 17, so they are the older end. And Florida worked really hard to get older staff and more experienced staff to be group leaders. But we just had a lot of older kids. We brought a lot of older kids. So that was their one negative when I talked to them last week. That was the one thing that they felt could have been different. But then other boys or other kids loved the actual paid 4-H staff. They were amazing.
We needed to make sure our kids knew, and we'll probably do a better job, that this is a learning camp. I think that surprised them how much education enrichment there was with the robotics. They really liked it, but they really loved the camp activities. So, they came away wishing they could do even more of that, because for many of those kids, that kind of camping was a first, and that too was a new experience.
It was their first experience to go in a kayak, and listening to one of my girls talk about the experience in the kayak, it was just mesmerizing listening to her, how amazing it was to be in the kayak in the middle of the Gulf, and the beautiful scenery and the city lights and the beautiful sunshine and the sparkling water. It was just a fairy tale, and it was the first time she had experienced that, and something that she has created a passion for now here, which is kind of amazing. And they got to, shoot air rifles, and they got to take dance lessons, and they just had lots and lots of fun, and those were their most excited activities. They loved the technology components, and we're excited they all got to bring home their own robotic that they made, and that was exciting, and they've talked about what they've done with it since they've gotten home. So it has kind of carried through into their lives here.
And that really calls into how this experience has really bonded our teen program and helped our teen program to grow. We see the togetherness that was created by that core of kids that went on the trip. They are this year's leaders. They are the movers and shakers. The number one things these kids have worked on this year is experiences. They have learned that they learn so much when they go, when they do, when they participate, when they serve. There was a service project involved with Camp Tumpuchi, and the kids came away feeling like they also helped someone. They've liked that feeling, and they have continued that with serving both at their schools and here at the youth center. Service projects have been so much easier because they're excited about being and participating. Our Keystone Club, this is the first year where we felt like the Keystone Club was an active, integral part of the youth center, and that they were the movers and shakers, and that they're planning the programs and getting our teen program to flourish. And that's been a wonderful opportunity for us. We are enjoying the chance to work with these kids.
And like she said, these teens are my Keystone president, my vice president, my secretary, my treasurer. That is those kids who went on the trip are those kids in my club. And they, with the bonds that they created while we were at Camp Tumpuchi, they've come back, and that same group, because when we're in Camp Tumpuchi, although there's 100 other campers, they know each other, and so that just creates that time where they can become friends because they rely more on each other. And I've seen that in our club where they rely on one another, and they want it to be like their experience in Camp Tumpuchi, how it was so amazing. And so they've brought that excitement, and they've brought that air back into the program, and they work really hard on creating teen-led programming and increasing our numbers and increasing the fun factor and increasing how we get the word out, because they want more people to participate. And so it's kind of amazing how this experience, making a movie and going to camp and traveling together, because our travel was a little stressful. We were late, flights were delayed, flights were canceled, rebooked, and it was a little crazy. And we all ran through airports, and we got good at that, and we relied on one another, and we were constantly checking on one another and making sure that we were taken care of. And that feeling of camaraderie came home with us, and to see that still flourishing is amazing.
We've seen our teen employment youth got excited about the projects and things, and they became youth center members. We could get them to apply for jobs, but they weren't becoming members. This has really helped when they see that we have a viable, active teen program, and that in turn has also increased our membership, and not only our membership, but our participating members. Because while we may have lots of kids on the rolls, sometimes we don't see those kids. It's pretty exciting to see them coming back and actively involved. We saw kids that raised their GPAs. They got excited about learning. They got excited about what the future was holding for them as adults. Because some of our kids, they're seniors this year, and they're excited about the possibility. I have to say, I'm excited about the possibility of one has already said, when I graduate, I'd like to apply and work as a full-time staff, and so that I can share my experiences with kids before I go to college. That's pretty exciting.
And we had some kids that were kind of right on the edge of the GPA qualifications for the camp last year. And, you know, we kind of struggled with, should we let them go, should we not let them go? But they were such a part of the process and a part of the program, and they were an integral part of our program. And so we felt that we needed to send them. And they left camp just wanting to know more, and have come back and raised their grades dramatically. And every time there's a grade report or published, they come and show us their grades and their grade point average, and they are proud to show us those grades this year. And so it has helped them raise their GPAs. They come in and they work in Power Hour. My attendance in Power Hour is up, and it's those kids that went to Camp Tampucci last year that are my mentors in Power Hour, and they come in and they tutor, and they have worked really hard this year to raise their grades, and I really credit it back to the STEM experience that these kids have had. And then, you know, when I was talking to the teens, they just had some really great things to say. One of the teens said that it made them more aware of the world. They went to a place they've never been before. They met kids from other bases, and we met kids from Florida, and they've continued those friendships that they made. They exchanged emails, and they email back and forth. I have a teen who says, "Remember that friend I made?" And I said, "Yeah," and he tells me all about her. And it's great to see that they've created friendships and bonds and have kept those through. Another teen said that it gave him a thirst for adventure, and she said that she's willing to do anything because this was just so exciting, and she was so afraid. Initially, she participated in the video and initially told us, "But I'm not going to Florida. I don't travel." And so when we found out we won, I called her mom and I said, "She won, we won, and we want her to come with us to Florida." And she struggled wanting to come, and she came, and she had the best experience, and has since then gone back to Florida, and their family's gone to Hawaii, and she said she's willing to do so much more because she just did this. She was brave and did it, and so that was exciting.
You know, she just really needed that support. It was a big step for the kids.
And the last, you know, and then I have one teen that the experience has affected so greatly. She said this quote she has said more than once to me and referred to this experience more than once in this way. Friday night she said, "I feel like I came home and joined life." This was a teen that was pretty introverted. She stayed at home. She came to the youth center on Friday nights. She didn't have a lot of friends. She stayed on her computer. She only was in the world via her computer, her phone, the internet. And she has come home. She's joined clubs at school. She's part of our Keystone program. She's an active member of our club. And she said, "I feel like I came home and joined life." And that in itself is enough for all of us to do this for our teens because they deserve this experience.
So what we recommend is when you get the rules, read them, reread them, read them again. Make sure that you understand what the parameters of the project are and interpret that to your best of your ability. Ask questions, send those emails to Brent, getting specifics. If the kids have a question and you can't answer it from the rules, get that information. Know who's eligible. That's really important so that the kids know, here's the eligibility, here's who's working on this, let's do it together. Make a plan. Help the kids make a timeline so that they have deadlines to hit and goals to break this into smaller projects. We've already said create your team, both staff and the teams. And as youth director, I can tell you they needed lots of support, but it was exciting to see them work. Brainstorm with your kids. They'll have great ideas on what they want this to look like. We're there to help them, and we're there to do the technical stuff and things, but they'll have specific ideas about what they want this to look like. Spend lots of time filming, taking little things. You're going to do some editing, so being really familiar with your editing software and things that is really going to do, and plan on hitting all those deadlines early so that if something goes wrong, you've got lots of time to fix it. I hope this has really helped you get inspired and excited about this project. I can tell you we're already excited about the possibilities of this summer and the chance to do this and work with these kids again.
Thank you, Whidbey Island. Now that you've been thoroughly informed by Whidbey Island, let's discuss the 2017 project. This year, Child and Youth Program Headquarters is requesting all youth programs to produce a 1 to 3 minute video application that highlights their current and future endeavors in science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, and how a potential selection to the Navy STEAM Camp program can be utilized to enhance current STEAM offerings and extend teens' learning around STEAM. For more information on the 2017 project, please refer to the STEAM Camp program guidelines document found on the CYP e-library. Shown on the screen are the specific requirements for the content of your videos. All videos must visually display teens throughout the video, provide teens opportunities to assist in the filming and/or design of their videos, include audio sound bites of teens and stock sound effects, prohibit the use of copyrighted popular music, and have a professional look and feel with a balance of teen language and culture. Now shown on the screen are the specific requirements for the formatting of your videos. To review, videos must be between 1 to 3 minutes. Videos must be able to successfully meet the intent criteria by themselves. Videos must be captured in 720p, DC Pro 50 high definition, 720 by 1280 frame, and the audio must be 44,000 samples per second in mono or stereo. If you cannot control for the audio, remember that voiceovers and sound bites are allowed. GoPro cameras must be adjusted to capture 1920 by 1080 with 16:9 ratio. And finally, smartphones cannot be used. If you are unfamiliar with the technical requirements, or if you are unsure if your youth or teen center equipment can meet these specific details, please reach out to your local MWR Marketing or Public Affairs office for clarification and assistance. We are pleased to announce the 2017 Navy STEAM Camp program locations will include opportunities for teens and staff members to attend all expenses paid STEAM camps in Montana, South Carolina, Washington, Maine, Georgia, as well as Florida. The details for each camp can be found within the Navy STEAM Camp brochure located in the CYP e-library. Selected installations will receive funding to send 2 staff and 12 teens to attend a STEAM camp. As an added benefit of the STEAM Camp program, each campsite will feature the selection and combination of 2 or more Navy installations to further connect Navy teens and staff across the enterprise. I will now clarify who is eligible to participate in the STEAM Camp program. At least one of the CYP professionals identified to attend the STEAM Camp must have a completed and favorable CNACI. Both CYP professionals must be 21 years of age, be employed with Navy CYP for at least 6 months, accustomed to commercial airline travel, and have no record of major staff disciplinary actions. Teens must be selected by their youth program in accordance with local eligibility requirements. Also, the selected teens should be those that support the creation of the video application, be between 13 to 17 years old by May 1st, 2017, must have a 3.0 GPA on a 4-point scale, must possess a passport that is valid for 6 months after the completion of the camp if traveling internationally. The application process is easy. Each youth program may submit a single 1 to 3 minute video application. Video applications are due no later than Friday the 21st of April, 2017 at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time. To aid you in your video projects, the 3 highest rated videos from 2016 are currently accessible on the Navy Youth Program's YouTube channel. The videos were created by NSB Kings Bay, NSA Singapore, and NAS Jacksonville. We highly recommend for all interested youth programs to watch these excellent examples. Lastly, similar to previous years, all videos must be delivered electronically. That will conclude today's webinar, and we hope that your youth program decides to participate in the Navy STEAM Camp program. As a reminder, the PowerPoint slides and script of this webinar are available in the CYP e-library. The 2017 STEAM Camp program brochure and guidelines are available now. Therefore, please begin your projects. Please remember to send any questions to brent.a.edwards@navy.mil. On behalf of Child and Youth Programs and Naval Air Station Whidbey Island, Washington, thank you all for your participation in today's webinar.